India, Africa ties, economics and multilateralism. What does the G20 Africa Partnership mean? Why did Germany as well as European Union took a lead to rally the international communities around Africa's plight? What is Compact with Africa? What would be the commitments of African countries engaging in this partnership? What should be the role of India in G20 Africa Partnership? What lessons should India learn and implement from the G20 Africa Partnership? GS Paper 2, Bilateral, Regional and Global Groupings and Agreements Involving India and or affecting India's interests. What is the context about? The leaders' declaration from G20 2017 comes with an added annexure, called G20 Africa Partnership. It was included at the insistence of Germany, which has the G20 presidency for 2017. What does the G20 Africa Partnership mean? G20 Africa Partnership states its purpose that the partnership intends to support related initiatives of the G20 and facilitate investment compacts between interested African countries, international organizations and interested partners to support private investment, sustainable infrastructure and employment in African countries. Why did Germany as well as European Union took a lead to rally the international communities around Africa's plight? The unrelenting waves of migration from North African shores, often leading to loss of lives while crossing the tempestuous Mediterranean Sea, and Europe's volatile immigration politics are likely to have prompted Germany to rally the international community around Africa's plight. Hence the partnership document focuses, among other things, on creating sustainable employment opportunities so that African youth do not risk lives in search of livelihood elsewhere. What is Compact with Africa? The Compact with Africa is a plan by G20 presidency Germany to boost private investment, especially for infrastructure. It is the main pillar of G20 Africa Partnership. This initiative will be coherent with and complementary to other initiatives to advance private investment, including in infrastructure, to increase employment and foster sustainable growth in Africa. The CWA is open to all African countries, who will self-select to participate in the initiative. What would be the commitments of African countries engaging in this partnership? African countries commit to working closely with the international organizations on developing a nationally owned reform agenda targeted at attracting investment, and on developing mutually agreed compacts with development partners. What should be the role India of in G20 Africa Partnership? India's long-standing expertise in capacity and skills programs provides a necessary addition to the compact. The Asia-Africa Growth Corridor by India and Japan applies a more comprehensive view on investment and infrastructure, including aspects such as skills, health, quality of investments and entrepreneurship. India faces similar challenges in job creation and infrastructure development. The sharing of practical development experiences, emphasized in the Asia-Africa Growth Corridor, would add value to the Compact's more technocratic approach. India's successes and failures could hold useful insights for African countries in areas such as public-private partnerships and the issuance of local currency bonds. What lessons should India learn and implement from the G20 Africa Partnership? India must take note on the government's intensive outreach programs that resulted in the violent displays of racism against African students and citizens living in Indian cities. India will need to watch whether different countries will be willing to subsume their Africa ambitions under an overarching multilateral approach. If required, India could consider activating the Asia-Africa Growth Corridor (AAGC), its joint initiative with Japan, through the G20 Compact. Data from the African Development Bank shows only 31% of Africa's trade is backed by bank-intermediated trade finance. This is clearly an opportunity for Indian banks. The way forward. If India is serious about its Africa initiative, a lot will depend on how it marshals its banking and financial sector there.